the first female director-producer in the UAE. Her vision behind the camera has brought her many international accolades and is fostering UAE to develop its own film industry. Little is known about female film directors across the globe. However, it is only a matter of time that they will soon begin to dominate the film industry as well. We will find out more about that and also about UAE's film industry in our show today, which is organized by Khaleej Times and led by Cetaphil, Women of Substance. Our guest today is a fine example of breaking barriers and also making a mark for herself in the film fraternity, not just in her country, but internationally as well. Along with that, she's also a cultural consultant and a motivational speaker. She also happens to be the first film director and producer of UAE. Please welcome Nayla Al Khaja. Hi Nayla, welcome to our show.
Hi, I feel like, that was a very warm introduction,
Absolutely.
very enthusiastic.
Totally
Thank you.
Deserve it.
Thank you.
So, Nayla, when was the first time that you realized about this passion of yours of film direction and producing a film?
Honestly, I don't think there was a specific time where I can pinpoint, but I know that I grew up watching maybe more than average films. Like if people would watch one a day, or I would watch 5 back to back. So I was pretty much a film addict at a very young age. And then I also remember watching a lot of, you're from India, right? So I used to watch a lot of black and white Indian films. And there was one specific film that really resonated very deeply with me, and that's Boot Polish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your typical action scene, but it's a very heartwarming story of a brother and sister, and then they both have very different fates, and that really got to me. And I always wondered how powerful films can be moving us emotionally, and I think I've always been interested in storytelling.
So it was since then that you decided that you want to take up the...
Oh no, I was 7. I still don't know what I want, but yeah,
right.
But back then I knew that I was interested in the arts in general. I was interested in visual medium specifically. But how I ended up in film is another story, because it was a complete accident. I was working as a teacher assistant in the women's college, and then we were supposed to do a documentary. I've fiddled with other short films before that. So my first film, I was very young, I think around 14, 15.
Okay.
And it was for just a fun school project. And I called it Sweet 16. So then I had another film called Cockroach. I don't know what it is, but this was very young experimental films. And then, the story making got less experimental, more refined. But who says what's right and wrong?
So it would be safe to say that these two were your first films that you started off with.
Right.
Yeah. So tell us more about the commercial ones, the ones that have been globally acknowledged, and you've received a lot of awards as well.
Okay, so those really kicked in much later. So after going to film school in Toronto, coming back, I had honed my skills, and you get to learn from a lot of heavyweights in the industry. You also get to understand not just the technical side of cinema, but also the emotional side, the cinema consciousness, so to speak, awareness. And that only comes when you watch a lot of films, independent films, and you start questioning, and you're like, why did that guy do it at this angle? What is that? What is his camera trying to say? Because there's a motivation behind things.
Cetaphil, the brand well known for its gentleness, has developed the new Cetaphil Ultra Gentle Body Wash range for you. It gently cleanses without stripping skin of its natural moisture, leaving skin feeling comfortably nourished all day long. Enjoy a great body wash experience so you can look and feel healthier. Now available in fragrance-free and refreshing scent. Cetaphil, complete your health routine.
So Nayla, how difficult was it for you when you started off and while you were filming for all your narratives? And
I can tell you one thing, not to cut you, it's never easy.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 years later, it's never easy. Yeah. It's just hashtag, it's never easy, okay? If people come and tell you, oh, she's in film, must be so exciting, red carpets, glamour.
It's glamour.
No, it's 3% glamour. It's hard work, it's horrible. It's really sweat and love and tears, because you could be working on a project for 2 years and then someone comes and pulls the plug. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. You either quit this career or move into something else. And because I'm so obsessed with it, it's all I know, what I love, and everything I am. I mean, I am kind of film and film is me because it's part of my DNA.
Bringing me to my next question. So what is the industry like? Tell us more about the UAE film industry.
Well, I always say this, that we don't have an industry, we have a movement. Because we don't have enough turnover of films per year to actually say that it's a robust industry. An industry is Bollywood, it's Hollywood, it's in Egypt where you have studio systems. Or if you have Nollywood, for instance, in Nigeria. But here we don't have, or many other countries, right? I hope that we are moving towards an industry, and I think that's happening very, very soon. With KSA opening a lot of cinemas by end of next year, this will have a trickle effect in the whole Gulf region, and people here will automatically be making film in the Khaleej language, our language, to cater to the Gulf nations.
Right. So Nayla, what role do you think do female entrepreneurs here in Dubai, sort of have to play in a progressive society, or let's just say that how is it that you think that you're contributing to the society here?
I mean, whatever I do, or whatever my female friends who are entrepreneurs, they really do. I mean, I really applaud the efforts. You really see, and I'm not saying this because I'm a woman, I always see that women here who run, whatever it is, it's a passion or a business, they do it with so much integrity, and they take it very seriously. And I think it's because men naturally get more opportunities just because of their gender, whether they have access to education, traveling abroad, and women have some of these taboos laid on them. So whenever they do get a break, they really, really value that break, and they take it to the maximum. And this is what's really beautiful about that.
What exactly is the kind of experience that you've sort of drawn from all these achievements of yours and the international exposure that you got?
It just really proves that I still have a long way to go. No, I really, really mean it. I feel like after my film Animal, which was shot 2 years ago, that's where I started feeling that, oh, now I'm playing with the heavyweights, or I just started to get in that playground. So now it's like even a bigger challenge, and we spoke about challenges. And I know that now I'm at the beginning of my career, and I always say to girls that talk to me, it took me 18 years of warming up. Okay, maybe I'm slow, but I took my time and I really got to learn the craft from the inside out. And now I feel like, okay, I can put my mark now, and I found my voice by finding a style that I really love in filmmaking, and I'm going to totally embrace that.
Nice. Let's talk more about you being a motivational speaker and about the fact that you're a cultural consultant. That is quite interesting.
Yeah, the motivational speak, like that just came out of the blue. So what happened was, I used to just I was asked to speak at some event ages ago, and I got approached by the London Speakers Bureau, and they're like, you know what? You know how to engage an audience. People actually listen when you talk.
Right.
Why don't you turn this into a career line?
Well, I wouldn't deny that. Absolutely. You're a great speaker.
You're very kind. You want a compliment? You look beautiful.
Oh,
okay.
I like that.
So, and then I signed up with the bureau, and ever since they've been giving me like different speaking gigs, and I started charging for them, and now it's becoming literally a really strong source of income.
Right.
And with culture consultants, thank you so much for bringing that up, because people don't realize that sometimes they'll bring a director from Brazil or any other country to direct local products or local commercials.
And they do not know
and
much
they don't
about,
say anything about the thing. So then they hire me to go and say, okay, this is not how we do things, or that music piece is not really accurate to our ethnicity, or whatever it is, right? So then I get hired on such projects, and it's always great. And it's good because even as a director, it's also interesting to see international directors, and it gives me access to them.
Makes
and
you
how
evolve as well.
and how they work, and I learn from them. So it's a continuous process of developing yourself and learning. I mean, the more you know, it's like the less you know. It's quite frightening.
Right. So what is it like for you on the sets? Share an experience with us. Any fun or pranky experience that you
Well,
had?
I can tell you one thing that no one should do, which I did because I really wanted a specific shot. And this was, I wanted to take the shot of a sunrise from the last floor of Dusit Thani. It's a hotel in Dubai.
Okay.
And you can't do that. You don't have a crane that will go that up.
Right.
So obviously the simplest thing is become a window cleaner. So then I had to go on top of these, and I didn't have the safety harness or anything. We didn't have permit. I mean, we had permit to shoot, don't get me wrong, but not to go on there. So we actually paid this company, and it was me and my DP, and we went all the way up, and we didn't realize how high up that thing went. It was the most frightening 5 seconds of, well, more than 5 seconds of my life. And I was like shaking, but we actually got that shot.
Wow.
You can drink and eat right things and exercise. But to feel completely healthy, you need healthy skin. Cetaphil strengthens and protects even the most sensitive skin, so you can look and feel healthier. Cetaphil, complete your health routine.
So Nayla, tell us about your family. How inspiring or how motivating have they been in your journey?
Well, family, again, it's like oh, where do I begin? So obviously my brother, who's my best friend, he is extremely, very, very supportive. My husband's also very supportive. Right. But like parents, you know, being very early on, you know, the first person in narrative, and they just couldn't understand the, you know, because dad and mom, they're like, oh, film is dangerous, it's dodgy, there's a lot of, you know, underground work and party scenes. They were really worried. Right. And I was young and, you know, but then when they started seeing that, you know, I'm making films that aren't that, I mean, they're hard-hitting, but there's also like a sense of respect for where I am. Right. They weren't that terrified. So now, I wouldn't say they're super supportive, but they have taken a very neutral stand, which is fantastic, trust me.
So anybody that you idolize from the film industry?
I mean, if there's someone I want to work with and kind of shadow, it would probably be Ron Howard. Maybe even Clint Eastwood. I mean, they're like old school and very commercial, because I'm also very commercially driven. But I also they have a very beautiful and deep sense of storytelling. Right. And they have done some stunning work. And I think, you know, it'd be an honor just to shadow them and just watch how they work.
So Nayla, you're an excellent example of this wealth of creativity. So any message that you'd like to give out to all these young independent filmmakers out there?
Yes, I mean, if you're confused and, you know, it will take years to know what you really want, and it will take years to hone your skills. So please be patient. I find a lot of young people super impatient. Also, volunteer, be interns, go to film sets, learn from different departments. You know, you might think that you're like you're attracted to cinematography, but maybe your real passion is in a different department. So that's very important for you to try out different production, and then get more serious about it and make mistakes. Like make a lot of films, make a lot of mistakes, embrace them, and then learn. Keep pushing yourself.
Right, great. Thanks, Nayla. It has been great chatting with you today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for all the amazing inputs that you had to share.
I had fun with you, thank you.
Yes, and all the best for your future film.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you want to be victim number 37, just give me a call.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.